Hello, my fellow immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself, and I found myself being deported almost twice and didn't know that I was an American citizen. So I'm doing this to maybe help maybe thousands of you who don't realize that you also are a U.S. citizen. It's crazy. If you get yourself in trouble, an immigration judge will order you deported, and you will not be able to return to this country. So if you are a permanent resident, otherwise known as a green card holder, and you get yourself in trouble, you'll be ordered deported. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of you don't realize that you are American citizens. I realized that I was an American citizen because I got myself in trouble. And going through the process, it was a fellow Jamaican who told me that I was an American citizen. I was I was astonished. I didn't know. You see, this happened to me 20 some odd years ago when I'd gone in front of an immigration judge who tried to deport me. And because of a 212C waiver form, which doesn't exist anymore, he gave me what's called a second chance, the immigration judge. Shortly after I was celebrating my win, the judge walked up to me and said to me, "If you come back in front of me, I'll order you deported." So you can just imagine how scared I was living my life, not realizing or realizing that if I got myself into trouble again, I would be deported. So I got myself in trouble again. So as I was going through the system, there was a fellow Jamaican who came to me and said, "Hey, listen, you sound like you've been here your whole life. You're a citizen, man. What age did you come here?" I told him 15. He said, "Was your mother a citizen?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Boss, you're a citizen." I said, "I'm a citizen." So you can just imagine how in shock I was after an immigration attorney took my money of $10,000 and didn't realize then that I was a citizen. You see, for a lot of you who are here who go through immigration attorneys, they probably don't even know themselves to ask you how you possibly came here. Most of these attorneys think that you just were put on a plane and sent here to an aunt or uncle, grandmother, sister, brother, and that you have no other recourse, but you do. I'm living proof that you have to do the research so that you don't get yourself into a situation where you find yourself deportable, where you find yourself on a plane. You see, it's very simple. All you have to do is get yourself in trouble one time, and then you'll find yourself on a plane going back to a country that you no longer know, or you no longer know how to survive. And that's the problem. So I'm trying to tell you to make sure that if you've been here 5 years as a permanent resident, you can become a citizen. That's number one. Number two, if you've been married for 3 years to a U.S. citizen, you can get your citizenship. Now, there are a lot of ways that you have to prepare yourself for all these things before they possibly happen. For one, if you're a permanent resident, you can't get yourself in any trouble for the 5 years that you've been here because that will totally disqualify you. The same thing when you're married to an American citizen. You can't get yourself in any trouble at all because it will totally disqualify you. And they also have rules and regulations that you have to follow. And you have to know the person that you're married to. As I said, we're living in times where immigration is a very serious topic, and we have a president that will automatically deport you. I've written a book, and it's now actually a manuscript, and it will be published in another month. And so there's the series of one of many videos that I'll make leading up to my book to help whoever is out there who needs it so that you don't find yourself in a situation and you find yourself on a plane going back to a country where you will never be able to survive again and you'll never be able to come back to the United States the way the laws are. So, what I would advise you is to do your research, to get yourself an honest attorney. Because a lot of these attorneys, you have to understand, they'll take your money and they know that they can't do anything for you at all. You see, they know that once they take your money and you get deported, they'll never see you again. Or you will be so afraid to even approach them if you do return back to this country again in some illegal form. You will not come to their office and ask them for their money back. So, I know that there's a lot of you who will live in the shadow that you know you will never be able to become a citizen. And I feel for you. I feel for so many people of different descents, Jamaicans, people from Trinidad, people from all kinds of third world countries, African nations, from Mexico. I feel for you because guess what? I was in an immigration camp for almost a year and I seen 1,600 people who were on the chopping block of getting deported. And that's the reason why I take this so seriously. This is the reason why I'm making this YouTube video to let you know that I feel for you. And I feel for you in such a way that I'm writing a book. In whatever way it can help you, it will help you. Go to an attorney that you can trust. If you want to, there will be a way. And in the series, my next series of these videos, I will give you a way where you can reach out and call me and you can ask me for advice. Because from going through my travels, I've learned so many different ways that you can use to exercise your rights to becoming a citizen, to staying here legally. You know, they're not. There are also people who are refugees who, have different situations in their countries where once they get sent back, they'll be killed. And I feel for those people because I've been there. I've been there amongst these people. Like I said, 1,600 odd of these people who have no other choice, who would work for $30 for the month in a institution and send that money back home because that money is worth their entire way of making that family survive. So, like I said, I'm here to help. I am coming from the belly of hell, from an institution, Moshannon Valley, immigrants waiting on deportation. When I made it out of there, the whole entire yard of about 1,600 people stood in the yard and waved at that bus as I made it out of there. It was a miracle. I now have a U.S. passport. I now am a U.S. citizen. So I will show you in my book how a lot of you who are watching this video can become a U.S. citizen. A lot of ways that you will never know unless you're told. If I did not know, if I was not told by my fellow Jamaican, I would have been in Jamaica right now, and I wouldn't be here in the United States making this video and writing a book and talking about it. It's a shame that you can stand before a immigration judge and they will not tell you what reliefs you're eligible for. They'll just order you deported. You have to research these things for yourself. And the only way that you can possibly find out these things is for you to research these things for yourself to find out. If you do not spend the time and you get yourself in trouble, you'll be deported. I want all of you, immigrants, whoever you are, near, far, to be serious about holding that permanent card that you have in your pocket, your wallet, as soon as you have the opportunity to file for your citizenship. Do not wait any longer. Do not. Be careful about going to any immigration lawyer, attorney, and giving them your money. A lot of them are just out to fatten their pocket and take your money and will not do anything for you. There are a lot of other ways of help that you can use before you go to an attorney. Save your money. Make sure that you are doing it the right way before you file any documentations, because a lot of these documentations you only get one choice or one chance. Once you get that chance, and if you fill it out wrong, and if you fill it out in any illegal fashion, you are done. You're finished. You'll never get a second chance. So be careful how you file your forms. Be careful the immigration attorneys that you talk to. And as I said before, make sure that if you are living right, you file your paperwork as fast as you possibly can whenever you're eligible to become a U.S. citizen. And as soon as you get your certificate of citizenship, you file for your passport. And God bless till the next time I talk to you. And believe me, it will be soon.